Welcome to Have I Got News for You? I'm Roy Wood Jr. In the news this week, local man has had it up to here with these TikTokers.
Jumping around, skipping like a dipshit on these things. You know it.
Toddler has a dinner request. Mom, spaghetti! Undecided voter tells candidate about his top issue.
You can't even do cocaine in this country anymore, you know?
On Amberstein tonight, he's a former Republican congressman who courageously voted to impeach Trump, so now he's on shows like this. It's Adam Kinzinger.
Thank you.
And joining Michael, he's a comedian and writer who's worked on so many shows. The Daily Show, The Nightly Show, The Office, Insecure, In Living Color, Blackish. He's more talented than Ryan Murphy. It's Larry Wilmore. Now for the biggest stories of the week. Amber and Adam, I'm going to show you all a clip package referencing a major news event that happened this week. You got to watch the montage and tell us what's the story. Here we go.
People are at the TV store. Yeah. Little clown doing a little dance and fire.
That's actually election day in about 9 days. Just a fire.
Well, thank you for the optimism. The story is traditional media outlets are being criticized for glossing over Trump's erratic behavior for fear of appearing biased. The media's been using a fun new word for this phenomenon. Does anyone know what that word is?
Stupidity.
Sane wash.
Oh, yeah.
Let's find out.
Sane washing.
Sane washing.
Sane washed.
He's been sane washed, which is now an expression.
Yes, and if you thought sane washing used to be called gaslighting, you're probably crazy.
It's them actually being really nice, because the only other way to describe Trump is crackhead at this point. Because remember he was dancing at that thing for like 30 minutes? You know? It's like only crackheads do that, just, right? Stand in the same place and dance for 30 minutes, you know, right?
Don't clap for me. How does CNN's Van Jones describe the difference between the coverage of Trump and the coverage of Vice President Harris?
Oh, I know this one. He said, Trump, I think, gets to be lawless and she has to be flawless.
Here's Van Jones.
He gets to be lawless. She has to be flawless.
Come on.
Right.
Yeah, teammate.
That's what I'm talking about.
But it's maddening that they have to do their best to find flaws in what Kamala is saying and doing.
Right.
But this man is a toddler with his pants pulled down, doing whatever he wants, but she has to be perfect. And it is a lot like being a black lady. It's bananas.
Okay, so then to that point, is Kamala being held to a different standard?
100%. Every time Trump speaks, he basically just does armpit farts and everybody laughs. And then at the end of the day, he's like, there you go, vote for me. Nobody knows what Donald Trump stands for.
Speaking as a black lady, I just want to say that...
You're not a black lady. Yes, you're strong. Yes, you're beautiful.
And proud, and proud.
And you are quite proud.
He's so close. Oh, my
So
God.
close. You almost a black lady. Very close.
How has Vice President Harris explained her shifting positions on things like fracking and policing?
She explained that when she was first talking about fracking, that she had her fingers crossed behind her back.
Here's the Madam Vice President.
If a perspective needs to be informed by different points of view to build consensus and to have a common sense approach.
I'm not a fan of people changing their mind or having principles.
If she is sitting, look, I was a senator from California, then I was vice president for 4 years. I kind of learned something, I changed. We should be encouraging. And by the way, politicians used to actually kind of, in the old days, say one thing to make it through a primary and then move to the center.
There was another word that the media's moved on to describe Trump.
I think it's fascist.
Let's find out.
Fascist.
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 Fascist. Fascist.
Fascist.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
Larry Wilmore.
Funny because it's true.
This week, U.S. Marine Corps General and former Trump Chief of Staff John Kelly did an interview with the New York Times that ran on page 12. What did the former Chief of Staff say about Trump?
He's a fascist. I feel like we just went over this.
Kelly technically didn't call Trump a fascist, but he did say Trump, quote, certainly falls into the general definition of fascist for sure. I'm not saying Larry Wilmore's black, but he falls into the definition of black when you think about black.
What is the general definition of fascism? I happened to write it down just because I thought this might come up. A populist political philosophy that exalts nation and often race above the individual, headed by a dictatorial leader.
So your phone is broke.
Yeah, no kidding. Good point.
Hey, Siri.
General Kelly also reminded people that on multiple occasions, Trump has said, quote, you know, Hitler did some good things too. I like what he did in that bunker at the end.
That was my favorite moment.
That was a good part.
That was my favorite.
That claim also backs up a piece in The Atlantic this week that stated 2 people overheard Trump saying, quote, I need the kind of generals that Hitler had.
I just really wish there was an old Nazi somewhere that says, I knew Hitler. Hitler was a friend of mine. Donald Trump, you are no Hitler.
Fox News gave Trump a pass for his statements. How did Fox News explain Trump's Hitler's general comments?
I think he defended it, actually.
Let's hear it from Brian Kilmeade.
And I could absolutely see him going out, you know what? It would be great to have German generals that actually do what we asked them to do, knowing that's a third, maybe not fully being cognizant of the third rail of German generals who are Nazis and whatever.
So, just to be clear, maybe Trump's so stupid he didn't know the Nazis was bad. That's his defense.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
If Trump was really a fascist, he would be out to attack the media. Tell me what went down between Trump and CBS.
He's either suing them or said he would pull their license.
He threatened to sue him by doubling down on his post that CBS should have its broadcast license revoked for their 60 Minutes interview with Vice President Harris.
Yeah, that sounds First Amendment-y.
Yeah. He went after CBS, but that's just that could be an anomaly.
That's probably all it was.
Yeah.
That's it.
What did Trump say about ABC?
No.
He said it's the beginning of the alphabet, and that's why he loves it.
He said, always be clothing. That's what he said.
He said it's his favorite Jackson 5 song.
That's right.
Trump said the exact same thing about ABC that he said about CBS, but this time he did it in his natural habitat of Fox and Friends.
They're a news organization. They have to be licensed to do it. They ought to take away their license.
I understand getting mad at a network, though. I got mad at ABC when they canceled Castle. But alas, one brave journalist is giving voters a new framework for a second Trump presidency. Does anyone know who this brave new architect is?
Junior? Yeah. Donald Trump Jr.?
It's Tucker Carlson.
Oh, sure.
Good. That's
who is the pioneer of something that I would like to call spank washing.
When Dad gets home, you know what he says? You've been a bad girl. You've been a bad little girl, and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now.
Question to the panel, what's the creepiest thing you've ever seen in your life?
That's some repressed stuff over there.
There's more.
You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl.
What's weird is the metaphor ran out a long time ago.
Yeah. It's pretty gross, but it's fine because he doesn't have children, right?
Tucker has kids.
Tucker, I think he has kids. Yeah.
Can they be taken away? Save them.
The story is, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck and says that Duck Hitler had some good ideas, that's a fascist duck. Here. Michael and Larry, your turn. Watch the clip.
Okay.
And tell me what's the story.
All right, that's voting.
Voting.
That's
Election.
That's a referee.
Election rules.
We're canceling this contract.
Voting machine.
Oh, that's the.
This is disinformation, right? About voting.
They're setting the table for challenges to the election.
Points for y'all. Nicely done.
We're so good at this, you guys.
Story.
Yeah. We are so good at this.
Yeah.
That was a very black-ass dap y'all gave me.
Can I be honest? I didn't understand what was happening because I knew there was a real dap, and I didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
Will you just show me?
Yeah. See,
Don't you show him the secrets? Show him the basic interracial dap, but don't give him the triple.
You're right, Roy. I'll show you later, Michael.
When I get my vigorous spanking?
When your journey as a black woman is complete.
The story is Republican efforts to undermine election integrity ahead of November 5th. Sing along if you know the words.
If there was no cheating, if God came down from a high and said, I am going to be your vote tabulator.
God would wake up from a 9-year coma and be like, y'all voted for who?
It's just the same play over and over again.
I love that they think that all those ballots were thrown away or whatever, except for the ones that the Republicans won on. Somehow those miraculously got through.
Actually, in 2020, after they were lying about this, that was the best question I'd ask my colleagues is like, well, you won your district. Was that fraudulent? Well, there's no answer to that ever.
But I do feel like you all are being a little bit presumptuous because Trump and J.D. Vance have already come out this year and said that they will accept the results of this year's presidential election on one condition.
Sure, if it's a free and fair election.
Yeah, sure, if it's a fair election.
See, that's all it's got to be.
I believe him because he was working at McDonald's when he said it.
Yeah. With early voting just getting started, over 230 Republican candidates on the ballot are already calling it unfair. What kind of things are they saying about early voting?
Illegals voting?
Yeah, while they're not eating your cats and dogs, they're voting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have time. Exactly. That's exactly right.
Cat burrito, that's what I got.
Yo, that one deserves a dap, Roy.
I don't know.
Soon we will dap. According to the Washington Post, they're saying there's non-citizens voting, and they're saying that Biden dropping out and VP Harris taking over was a coup. I think we all agree, you can't call anything a coup in America until somebody shits on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
Yeah.
You were there on January 6th. Wow. You were in the chamber.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was the worst day I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Not just because of the violence and the fear, but like, I saw that this was happening to America. Like, this is something that can't happen here. And yeah, it was a terrible day. And, you know, all my colleagues, for the most part, agreed with me until they didn't.
Were there any elected officials that tried to come and hide in your office that you didn't like? And you was like, you get your ass out there.
I'd have pushed out Ted Cruz if he would have.
It would have been a great opportunity to shit on his desk. No one would have known.
Speaking of election integrity, the RNC is training an army of poll watchers to, quote, protect the vote. What are battleground states doing to protect election officials from Trump's army?
I think this is where the flashpoint's going to be. It's not going to be in D.C. on January 6th. Right. It's going to be during the certification process at state houses. And the problem is, you can give me a security detail. You know, I was a national figure, whatever. But in a county, if you have like 10 people that need police protection, you probably only have 10 cops in that county. So it becomes impossible.
Here's the security setup for the little old ladies counting the votes in Maricopa County, Arizona.
Get this, they will have snipers on the roof, metal detectors, and security at every entrance, drones surveilling overhead, and security cameras and floodlights to help law enforcement monitor this area.
That's all you got to do. You want to protect voting, just lock it up the way you do all that shit at the pharmacy. Excuse me, miss, could you come unlock my democracy? Does anybody know how many states the RNC has active election lawsuits in?
81.
I get that, Roy. I get that.
Here's RNC co-chair Laura Trump with the official number.
We have lawsuits in 81 states right now.
Yes! Yeah.
Wait, try it again.
That's good.
Follow-up question just from Michael.
Uh-oh.
Name all 81 states. Republicans are also calling foul about Democrats interfering with the certification process. What specifically are they worried about?
About them following the Constitution?
Yep.
Republicans are worried about VP Kamala Harris, who's playing the role of Mike Pence in the 2024 election.
As vice president, Kamala Harris is tasked with certifying the election.
We shouldn't have the vice president, Kamala Harris, have some sort of unilateral authority to reject the electors.
This has never happened before. Let's ask Al Gore if he certified the election in 2000 and what that felt like.
If Kamala is there to certify her own contested election, who's considered to be Trump's ace in the hole in the event of a contested election?
Speaker?
It's Speaker Mike Johnson.
There you go.
Who tried to help overturn the 2020 election and will be in charge of certifying the 2024 election. But don't y'all worry, because Mike Johnson has said he'll accept the outcome of the 2024 election on one condition.
Of course, if we have a free, fair, and safe election, we're going to follow the Constitution, absolutely.
But otherwise, we won't follow the Constitution. By the way, in 2020, leading up to January 6th, he was the driver of that stuff. He drove those lawsuits, and he was actually very responsible for the lead up to January 6th.
Are you guys
and
still
now
in
he's
touch?
Speaker.
Or?
Yeah, it was, we get a beer on occasion, but nothing big.
It's time for Lie Curious. Here's how Lie Curious works. I give you 3 biographical details about a public figure, but only one is true. You have to guess which is the truth and which are dirty, filthy, nasty, funky lies. Let's get started. Time for 3 facts about NBC election guru Steve Kornacki, king of the khakis.
All right.
Our facts are: he didn't eat breakfast for 29 years. Lost his virginity behind a Kmart. Rides his bike to work every day from New Jersey. Which one is the truth?
I suspect Steve Kornacki still has not lost his virginity.
Steve Kornacki is beautiful, and he's lovely, and he's smart. But he does look like he rode his bike into work from a different state.
Not in them tight-ass khakis he be having on.
Oh, you checking out how tight his khakis are?
Don't you Arnold Palmer me.
I'm gonna go with 3, rides his bike.
We're gonna go with number 1. Didn't eat breakfast for 29 years. That feels plausible to me.
Steve Kornacki didn't eat breakfast for 29 years.
Hold.
This is so god-awful to watch. In the days before the 2020 election, Kornacki gave an interview to GQ in which he said, quote, "I haven't had breakfast in 28 or 29 years.
Yep.
He missed the Pop-Tart and the Pop-Tart cereal that came out.
Oh my God, he's never had a toaster strudel.
Nope.
Sad.
Never had King Vitamin.
Yeah.
Holy shit. King Vitamin?
That is...
Are all your references from 1974?
Yes, they are.
Those commercials weren't even in color.
Time now for 3 facts about Fox News personality.
How old are you, Larry Wilmore?
I just turned 82 there.
You look good.
Thank you, Andrew.
3 facts now about Fox News personality Greg Gutfeld. Our facts are: he has no toenails. He used to know every N.W.A. song by heart. He eats dinner at Chili's once a week.
I'm gonna just say it's number 1 because it's just creepy.
How would somebody not have toenails?
You know, some people just have a little bit of corner of a toenail.
Yeah.
Oh.
You ain't never seen a girl with her socks off and he'd be like, "What's up with your toes?"
I think that he eats dinner at Chili's once a week is very plausible. So it makes me want to say he used to know every N.W.A. song by heart, but you know that he would love to rap along, and he would love to shout that N-word real loud.
Greg Gutfeld used to know every N.W.A. song by heart.
Good job.
As he told The Observer back in 2007, quote, "I got into rap very early. I could do every N.W.A. song by heart." Michael, bonus points. What does N.W.A. stand for?
I'm gonna say.
Think about it, I'll come back to you. Adam, bonus point for you, Adam. Finish this N.W.A. lyric. A bitch is a...
I'm just, nice lady.
Bonus question for everybody. While working an event as a young man, Greg Gutfeld finished off whose half-eaten meal?
I want it to be Kid Rock.
I'm gonna guess it's somebody who had mad cow disease because that would explain Greg Gutfeld.
Yeah.
Greg Gutfeld once ate Ronald Reagan's leftover chicken.
Oh, that's weird.
As a young intern at a conservative magazine, Gutfeld was recruited to help out one day when Reagan was visiting his boss at the house. And, quote, after Reagan left, they were clearing the dishes, and I got Reagan's dish, and he hadn't eaten all of his chicken, so I ate all of his chicken. I mean, that's the first time trickle-down economics ever worked. But
sure.
The only reason he ate that chicken was so that years and years later he could be like, I ate Ronald Reagan's chicken.
Yep.
3 facts now about Oscar winner and national treasure Merl Streep. Her agent suggested she change her name to Merl Streep.
Ooh, I like that.
She requested her character in Mamma Mia 2 be killed off. She was the last person to see Steve Irwin alive.
I love that one.
We want that.
We want it to be 3.
Larry and I want that one to be it.
We want it to be 3 so bad.
She is part stingray. She did it. She was the last person to see Steve Irwin alive.
I'm just gonna go 3. I mean, it's like, you know.
It's the most fun.
It's the most fun.
And it was actually Steve Irwin who suggested she change her name to Merl.
Yeah.
Her agent suggested she change her name to Merl Streep. In a 1979 interview with the New York Times, Merl was never self-conscious about her name, saying, quote, with Carmine Petruccione, Pancho Sonia, and Bozo Della Russo around the neighborhood, no one was making fun of my name, but later on, agents wanted her to change her name to Merl Streep. I loved Merl Streep in the Darvel Wells pasta.
I have no idea what you just said.
This has been Lycurious. It's time now for Missing Words. Captain, I'm going to give your team some recent news headlines with keywords cut out, and you'll have to fill in the blank and give us the full story. You mother blankers ready? Here's your headline. Dog spotted on top of blank.
Lauren Boebert.
I like that answer.
I mean, at some point.
That's true. Let's go with Mount Rushmore.
Oh, not bad.
Ooh.
Dog spotted on top of Great Pyramid of Giza.
Whoa, that's cool.
A paraglider's video of a stray dog frolicking on top of one of ancient Egypt's great pyramids captivated commenters on social media this week. Here's the video.
Nice.
Wow.
He did it.
Yeah.
Good for him.
This is why you need leash laws.
My dog would climb up that pyramid just to lick up another dog's vomit.
Let him have his little achievement. He got all the way to the top of the pyramid. Now you gotta bring up vomit. He's a good boy.
He's a
good boy.
Yeah.
He's a real good boy.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how the dog managed to scale the 448-foot structure, but we do know how he got down.
Oh my goodness, look how fast he is.
Nobody knows how he got up there. But then you're showing how he came down. You can't extrapolate how he got up?
We don't know. It's the pyramids. There's a lot of mysterious shit. You never watch Ancient Aliens?
He's a good boy, isn't he, Amber?
Yeah, he did.
He's a good boy.
He's
a real good boy.
Here's your next headline. Restaurant apologizes after serving blank. Oh,
I mean, that's what gets served. You serve.
I feel like that might have earned our first bleep.
Oh, restaurant apologizes after serving. See you next Tuesday.
Restaurant apologizes after serving reenactors dressed as Nazi soldiers. Kith and Kin restaurant in Hudson, Massachusetts apologized after allowing 2 people in SS officer uniforms to dine inside the restaurant, saying, quote, in hindsight, they should have been asked to change before being seated.
Like, I don't have a problem with them reenacting anything, but once you put on the SS uniform and the reenactment's over and you say, hey, do you feel like getting something to eat? I'd probably say, you know what, I am hungry, but let me just quickly take off this SS uniform featuring the swastikas before we get our Grand Slam breakfast.
They probably were just real rude in the way that they ordered soup! Pancakes!
The offensively dressed duo were part of 8 living historians looking to grab a bite after participating in a World War II reenactment at the American Heritage Museum.
This is what I've always thought of reenactors. If you're like I want to play the Nazi, then you like that shit. And you want to wear that shit, and you want people to look at you while you look like that.
Do you, though? Somebody got to be the Nazi.
But, Roy, you have to have the uniform already.
Bonus question. Who on this panel has participated in a historical reenactment and may have been on the wrong side of history in the reenactment?
Certainly not somebody from the South.
Certainly not someone from this side of the melanin spectrum.
And I'm guessing it's not somebody who hosts a show on CNN.
Roll it.
If we hadn't become soldiers, then teens might have gone back as they were before. Our freedom may have passed through 2 houses of Congress, and President Lincoln's 4 years might have passed us by, and nothing been done for us.
But, you know, I have to say, that character, he's not wrong.
I got $200 for that shit, and y'all can kiss my ass. Here's your next headline. Moron blanks Cybertruck, alarmed to discover it's not actually blank.
Moron buys Cybertruck, alarmed to discover it's not actually good.
A truck.
Moron shoots Cybertruck, alarmed to discover it's not actually bulletproof.
Yeah.
No.
This moron has a name. His name is not Elon Musk. Does anybody know the name of said moron?
It's got to be like a dumb person's name, but they also have to have enough money to buy one of those.
Yeah.
So it's like Cletus Vandersnoot.
So he's Dutch?
His name is Dante Cole, and he is a porn star. Here he is, seeing if his Cybertruck is bulletproof.
Well, at least he's getting laid.
Yes, for those of you that are not familiar with Dante's work, his adult film credits include Scared Stiff 2, The Amityville Whore. Also the boyfriend in The Nutting Professor.
That makes sense.
Fun fact, the sequel to The Nutting Professor is also called The Clumps. That's missing words. It's time for caption contest. I'll show you a picture. You guys throw out your best captions.
Ooh.
Oh, good. What New York needs? Another pigeon.
Tiny humans invade New York.
They have no idea what's coming.
I want to thank our guests, Larry Wilmore, Adam Kinzinger, and of course our team captains, Ruffin and Michael Ian Black.